political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. 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 And are not afraid to say it.
And are not afraid to say it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are tuned in to Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show every Sunday 6 to 8 on INTHEMIXXRADIO.com. I'm your host, A.J. Woodson. We have the lovely Lorraine Lopez in the studio, and we also have Dr. Bob. I'll be putting them on in a minute. So I just wanted to say what's up to everybody. We got the small business edition of Black Westchester out. Great reception to it so far. If you haven't seen it yet, you haven't seen the paper copy yet, you can always look at the digital copy on blackwestchester.com. And I did something different this month. I also posted a JPEG of all the individual pages so they can be downloaded for the people that might want to see. You might see a page that you might want to print, so you can go to the individual businesses. So I made it printable, so you can just click on the page that you want to see in black boutiques, black restaurants, professional services. We got some black attorneys, you know, just all the different businesses that I could find in Westchester County and some of the surrounding areas. I think it's a really big issue. Like I said, we got a lot of response. I thank all the people who have shared it on their pages. And feel free to do that. Support these businesses. A lot of people don't know where the black businesses are, so they say I've tried to put them all in there so y'all can support them, y'all can see them, and we can support these black businesses, because we have to recycle our dollars. That's very important to the black community. Recycling our dollars. Other communities, their dollars recycle 2, 3, 4, 10 times before they leave the community. Our dollars walk out the community as soon as they go in the community. So hopefully people will be blessed by this cover, and they will start, they will see some businesses that they've never seen. Because I found out about some new businesses, some businesses that I didn't even know in doing this, which was a good thing. So I just want everybody to check that out. Welcome. We have Dr. Bob in the house. We have Lorraine Lopez in the house. We'll have Damon call check that out. Welcome. We have Dr. Shout out to Uncle Frank Trulio Jr., always tuned in. Pepsi Martinez.
Hey, Pepsi.
Shout out to her.
Pepsi said that one day she's going to make it on to this show. She says, just watch. Pepsi, you're always welcome.
Okay, that's what's up. So, before we get started, before we get into it, there's been a lot going on in the news lately. I know Dr. Bob usually pays very close attention to what's going on in the news. What headlines caught your attention this week?
Well, a number of headlines, both local as well as national. Locally, of course, I think the big headline of the week was the announcement by Mayor Thomas, his lawyers, that he would, take his legal case to trial. At least that he intends to.
Yeah,
take
he
his
turned
case
down
to-
a plea bargain. He was offered a plea bargain or something, a plea deal or something. He
deal.
turned it down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that has stimulated a lot of discussion, including, I think, a great piece, which was written by Latif Khalil,
Yes.
staff writer with Black Westchester, I think, who makes a great case in his op-ed that appeared this week for the mayor to step down and spare the city of the pain from fighting a case that, at least in the eyes of many, including myself, seems to be quite clear-cut. The mayor had an obligation to avoid the appearance of propriety, and a lot of the financial shenanigans. Avoid the appearance of impropriety.
Oh, okay, you said propriety. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. To avoid the appearance of impropriety and a lot of the financial shenanigans that he engaged in during the course of the campaign and after his election, primarily through the acceptance of what might best be described as a quid pro quo from Joe Spezio, student loan payments in return for a questionable appointment as the mayor's non-resident unofficial deputy police commissioner. I think, for me, makes a compelling case that the mayor should be taken to court. He should be brought before the bar of justice. The mayor should be brought before the bar of justice because he had an obligation, given his announcements on the campaign, that he would part ways with Ernie Davis and, run a squeaky clean government. He failed to do that. And so he has rightly raised questions in the eyes of prosecutors who are familiar with the actual language of the law, and also with members of the general public as to whether or not he got paid off. So I wish the mayor would have spared us, but since he did not, and he's free to, I look forward to both the defense and the prosecutors in making a vigorous case, and I trust that a jury will reach the appropriate conclusion. So that's one big thing.
Okay. What else is in the news this week?
In addition, of course, there's also Mayor Thomas's main benefactor, Joe Spezio, also finds himself in a bit of a political sling as he appeared before the Westchester County Board of Solid Waste Commission, or the Solid Waste Commission, which is proposing to rescind his license hauling, his license to haul garbage in the county of Westchester, because again, he has likewise violated his obligation to avoid the appearance of impropriety. He most recently was found guilty of welching on his responsibility to fund the retirement fund of a union whose shop he took over in some of his business dealings. And those are really big cases. And together they suggest that both Mayor Thomas and Joseph Spezio are engaged in very questionable kind of business dealings and, may well be corrupt. And so those are the big pieces of news this week. Locally.
Real quick, so Kenyatta Thomas said hello. She's tuned in.
Yetta, what's up, Yetta? How are you today?
Shelly Lewis said greetings. Alita Johnson's tuned in, says AJ, hey AJ, looking good, cuz. Thank you for your commitment to the community. Thank you. Pepsi Martinez said, hey fam. There's another Saad Siddiqui. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'm sure I messed it up, but thank you and welcome to the show. The stories that Bob spoke on that Run a Black Westchester I just posted so people can read them themselves and know what's going on. And also, I posted the digital version of the Black Westchester, the December issue, the small business issue. So nationally, I know there was a couple of things nationally, like, this week. Shout out to Omi Medina. Go ahead.
Shout out. I mean, look, there's been lots of claims at the national level, just as there have been at the local level, that somehow the charges that our chief executive officers are now facing have been trumped up. And we've engaged in I've engaged in very vociferous debates.
There's that word.
What does that mean?
Very heated,
Okay.
very heated, very angry debates with people who I consider to be political comrades, both on the left and on the right. And for months now, they have insisted that somehow the other President Trump was the victim of some sort of deep state plot to overthrow.
Conspiracy.
Yes, to overthrow him. And I think that the court filings in the case of Paul Manafort and Michael Cohen this past Friday have really put to rest those claims. As you may remember, in the court filing against the plea bargain that was struck between Michael Cohen and the special prosecutor's office, the president was named as an unindicted co-conspirator who the special counsel alleges directed Michael Cohen to engage in illegal campaign finance payments that were deliberately designed to avoid public scrutiny. And as a result, according to the special counsel, the president is guilty of a conspiracy to defraud the American people of their right to a full and transparent election. I have heard some commentators on TV sort of dismiss the counsel's charge as a campaign violation, finance violation that does not rise to the level of criminality. And, I have to say this, that we have laws for a reason. Those laws are designed to protect and safeguard our institutions, and we should not give elected officials passes for violations of the law that commoners, the everyday man and woman, like me and Lorraine, you, everyone who's in listening voice, would quickly be brought up on charges for.
So can they put charges against him as a sitting president?
I don't know. They've
been talking about that this week.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of legal experts said if this was anybody other than a president, a governor, a mayor, or anybody else, charges would have already been brought.
He has immunity, doesn't he?
No, that's not. Well, that's the question. It's questionable. And one person said that they believe legally he can be charged but not tried till after he gets out of office. But he could. Yes, I was getting ready to read that. Yes, Kenyatta said. She said, "What's up to Bob?" She said, "What's up, AJ? What's up, Kenyatta?" And she said, "Come by and check out sometimes."
Yes, Yetta. Maybe sometime this week. I'll be off by Wednesday. I'm gonna come through. Maybe
Shout
Wednesday.
out to Michael Bullock and Rotonda Tate. I believe I pronounced that right, and if not, please forgive me. On the check-in. You know what? While you were talking,
mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here thinking, and I mean no disrespect. I'm trying to be as not as biased as possible, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Now, I go back to maybe Carter. So
mm-hmm.
never, and so I can't really speak from personal knowledge of anything before that. So never have I seen a president that claims to be both the victor and the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you won. You won. And at some point, it seems like you don't realize you won and you never stop campaigning. And I also, again, could not help notice the parallel to local government and the Thomas administration as well. Because a lot of times he claims both the victor and the victim. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like presidents that have talked about everybody attack, they had everything against you. Does the Republican Party had the president, the Supreme Court, the Senate, and the House. How are y'all victims? Like, for 2 years, all I've been hearing about is how they're being victimized. How are y'all controlled everything? How are y'all claiming any victimization? Which is what I cannot understand. So I just noticed, shout out to Hector Santiago, Jeff Ford, and Barry McGooey just tuned in.
Hey, Barry. Hey, Hector.
I just, it's just amazing
Hey,
how
Robert.
and I don't know any other president. Like I said, I only go back as far as Carter in my personal knowledge and my personal experience. Carter, Ford, Reagan, Bush Sr., Bush Jr., Bill Clinton, and Obama. Like, I've never seen a president claim both victor and victim. Like, by definition, you either one or the other. You know what I'm saying? So I just noticed that, like, they're always talking about how how he's being attacked, how he's victimized. And then they show clips of when Obama was president, and he was one of the most chief critics against Obama. He was a chief critic against Bill Clinton, talking about Bill Clinton lied, and there's no place like that for any president to be lying. It just sounds funny to see those clips now when pretty much that's all you do is lie. And about small stuff that does not matter. You know what I'm saying? Which brought up a conversation on MSNBC in the last 2 weeks. There's a great possibility that the United States could face a crisis, a major crisis under the Trump presidency, where we will need the president to kind of be presidential and speak to the people and let them know that they are safe and everything is going to be okay. But if you lie about every little thing, how are we going to believe you when we need to believe you the most at those times? And I think that's a danger in this whole lying just to lie and just saying stuff that is so provably false. Just every chance you get, every tweet, everything you say. Like, I understand it's to change the narrative situation. I understand it's to control the narrative. I understand it's to get the attention off the things you want to get the attention of. But this guy would rather lie. I had a friend, I was telling Damon one time, I had a friend, we used to play spades, and for all the spade players. Now we'd be up to like 460. You're playing to 500. You just need board to go out. They would cheat and renege. Just because, like, there's no need to. We only need 4 books to win. You know what I'm saying? He would just do it just because he could. Like, there's no need to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like there's no need to lie. Like, with the business, he was a businessman, and to get business and maybe a hotel in Russia as a businessman, there's nothing wrong with that. But lying, see, the thing is, even with Bill Clinton got impeached for lying. That's
for lying
for
having
right. He said
about having sex.
Right, and he played with the definition of what sexual intercourse is. Because a lot of people do not believe oral sex is sexual intercourse. There are very many people who do not believe that is sexual intercourse. So he said, so having sexual relations. He said, I did not have sexual relations. So he played with words. But what he was impeached was not for having sexual relations, was for lying. And we have a president that's all they do is lie. I just want to put that out there in perspective of things. And again, they showed the clip of him, Donald Trump, the citizen, the developer, or whatever his title was back then, going after Bill Clinton, saying it is the worst thing in the world for our president to lie to us. There's no place for our presidents to be lying to us. And he was like him lying over having sex. He blasted Bill Clinton for that.
Right.
And now and I think that's a problem. And again, going back to the local situation, some of our local politicians, they lie about little things and the things that don't matter. Like, you're just lying just to be lying sometimes. How are we going to trust you when we really need to? I think that's the most dangerous thing about the lying thing. That's something I wanted to bring up.
It's not merely, how can we trust the particular official who speaks with such mendacity, such lying.
There's another word.
But,
there we go.
But more importantly, it helps to promote feelings of cynicism throughout the general populace, such that today American citizens refuse to believe the claims of any of the representatives of our major institutions, including our criminal justice system and our national security establishment, which is charged with ensuring that our government is not taken over by hostile foreign powers. And it's, it's unfortunate because this is part of a much broader pattern of attack on the very notion that one can reach some measure of truthfulness and objectivity. Trump would have us believe that it's not so. And we see this not only in the area of the investigation that he is the subject of, but he has also called into question the truth of climate scientists who maintain that, the globe is warming and that we need to make a concerted effort to figure out how we're going to reduce our carbon emissions and get a hold over global warming. And the president just yesterday is like, I don't even know what the man said. He doesn't believe in expertise at all. And it's unfortunate because he is only encouraging many Americans who find it some skepticism in what the so-called experts say, which I believe is dangerous. I think there's no doubt.
It's absolutely dangerous.
No doubt that climate change is real. And the consensus of the scientific community is nearly unanimous, near total unanimity.
Well, they had his former stated chief of state, what the state is, Secretary
of State Tillerson?
Yes, and he said, coming from a more organized corporation like, say, Exxon or something, he was used to things being a certain way, and then he got into the president's cabinet, and there was no. The guy doesn't read notes. He doesn't care about briefings. He
right.
He doesn't deal with anything other than what he personally feels, and what he personally feels is the way he feels.
It's really not based on an actual observation, like gathering of evidence. It's
right.
what his gut tells him. But we could see this also. The conclusion of the national intelligence community was that the Saudi prince MBS was culpable
MBS.
for yes, the notorious MBS was culpable in the death of journalist Adnan Khashoggi, and the president simply said he did not believe the assessment, dismissed the assessment of his community, intelligence community outright. But the problem is that he didn't offer any basis for disbelieving that.
And his answer was maybe he did.
Maybe he didn't.
But then his son, then it came out in the news today that his son was talking to him. One of his.
Yes, Kushner. I mean.
No.
Yeah.
It's Jared Kushner. It's Jared.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Jared, he's been the one who's. They got really close somehow, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Struck up a really tight relationship.
His intelligent gathering is his sons and daughters. Like they know what. Like they know more than the intelligent community.
I mean, look what the president did. He appointed a Fox News journalist. He is proposing to appoint a Fox News journalist who may be smart, worldly, but to serve as ambassador to the UN.
Yeah.
And she has very little experience.
And those other countries that out there are probably just laughing and were like, yeah, because they know she's going to be very ineffective and cause no harm to any of them. I mean, she's not.
Right.
Shout out to a couple of people that just checked in. We have Teef checked in. So what's up, Yetta? Said, love me some Kenyatta Thomas. Shout to Ben Fox. Shout to Janelle Albritton. Shout to Marion Barksdale. Shout to Mark
Longorio.
Yes, from Lohud.
Lohud.
Tuned in. Shout to Marvin Church. And there was another.
Is Barry McGoey still on?
Well, he checked in. I mean, I don't know if he stayed in, but he checked in.
Can I?
Can get us at any time after 5.
I want to, since you mentioned Mark's name, I want to take the opportunity to applaud both him, John Bandler, and other members
for their detailed
of
investigative
Lord,
reports,
because they've done a real service to the residents of Mount Vernon and the broader Westchester community by providing us with some real solid evidence to go by as we try to make sense of what's happening in Mount Vernon City Hall these days.
And shout, he's no longer there. Columnist Phil Reisman, because he definitely.
Can I give a shout out?
Absolutely. But let me just say, he definitely showed me the difference. Being new, we make up a lot of stuff as we go along. The difference between actually doing the news and actually doing a column. And right. I have my column now that was inspired by Phil Reisman. Real Talk from A.J. Woodson was inspired by the great writing of Phil Reisman. So I just want to put that out. Lorraine has a comment. So Lorraine.
No, I just wanted to give a shout out and a big thank you to Barry McGooey, George Rocha, and the union for their generous donation they're giving to Broadway Community Center for our holiday giveaway on Saturday.
Shout out to Barry McGooey.
That was very nice.
Folks. Shout out to Tasha Diaz, who just tuned in. So what's up, family?
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to go back because we quickly glossed over many important issues when we had our initial discussion about the legal problems that the president finds himself in, and specifically the question of whether or not the president can be indicted. And, I want to point out that conservatives have often claimed, excuse me, everyone, I'm sorry about that, have often claimed the mantle of, legal rectitude or something, like we're good, we're going to keep with the legal traditions of the United States by saying that we need to use as closely as tight as possible to the original intent of the founders of the United States as outlined in the Constitution of the United States. So conservatives are very big on original construction, to use the phrase. And it is important for us to note, therefore, as commentators have done over this past weekend, that there are no clauses in the Constitution of the United States that prohibit a sitting president from being indicted. Indeed, when we take into account the totality of the motives and the history of the formation of the United States and our revolutionary overthrow of the King George III of Great Britain, it's very obvious that there was consensus that no person needs to be above the law, whether it be a president or a king. In fact, that's one of the key things that distinguishes a president from a king. Absolutely. Kings are a law unto themselves. And presidents are subject to the rule of law.
And the reason why the government was formed the way it was formed as an escape from the Kingdom of England.
Yes.
But he can get indicted, but can he get arrested?
Well, see, there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that I think I've seen that we've learned. Mm-hmm. Nixon, because they keep going back to the Nixon situation, Watergate. He knew that he was going to be indicted. That the walls were closing in, and as he stepped down, he made a deal to be pardoned. The difference now is most of the things that took place, these meetings with Russia and all of these things took place in the state of New York. And the Southern District of New York is going after him. And no federal pardon, presidential pardon, can clear you or anyone else from state charges. So even if he decides to pardon himself, like get indicted and all that, and try to pardon himself, or have the success of pardon him, like say he stepped down and Mike Pence took over, and have Mike Pence pardon him, he would still be, can be indicted and tried and sentenced in New York State under new state law. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think that was, I watched this whole maneuvering of Mueller and the New York State attorney general and in the different departments. And not only that, they also said there's some other states like Virginia that are now considering bringing him up on state charges. So it set a precedent. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's ever been done before on that level. But I think they learned from the Nixon thing. There's no pardoning him. There's no pardoning his children who are very much involved. There's no pardoning anybody who testifies or takes any deal or gets convicted of state law. There's nothing he can do about it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing a presidential pardon. But again, to answer your question, they were wrestling with that all week. And one person that was a former state, I think worked for the former state attorney general, or something in that something to that effect. He said that he believes legally the president can be charged, even if they're not tried until after his presidency is over.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So there's still, I think that there has been they're making this up as it's going on. There's no case law for this. There's no example of this happening. Has any president ever been indicted as a president, a sitting president? I don't think that's ever happened before. So, and where a president could be indicted and then refuses to step down. In case of Nixon, he stepped down. So I think we're entering new territory, a historical territory that we've never been involved before. And, he's doing things that no president has ever done before, outright. Like, he's doing it in the light. He's not even, they say Reagan was involved with the Contras and everything. And even though Oliver North was but whatever Reagan's involvement was, it was behind the scenes. He wasn't tweeting it. He wasn't commenting on it. He wasn't visibly doing it out in the open. You know what I'm saying? So we've never had anyone, and talk about, rule of law, the people that feel that feel nobody's above the law, that felt vindicated, in the Nixon situation, and even the fact of Clinton being found guilty. But he impeached but not removed from office. But in the Ronald Reagan era, it did seem like a president can do whatever. I mean, Ronald Reagan proved the president can just about get away with anything, because he did. He got away with what he was doing.
Well, he did, but
Oliver North was the fall guy. And I didn't even know. Do you know? I followed up. I just had to look up Oliver North because I wanted to know how much time he actually did. Did like 2-3 years. His thing was overturned. Then he
I said hi to him one time over the phone.
Was a commentator for Fox for a couple of years, and now in 2018 became the president of the National Rifle Association.
By the way, which is
ironic because his thing was about illegal guns like this.
And which is also ironic because, as you probably know, the NRA is the subject of an investigation by the Spencer Council that is looking into efforts that it may have averted campaign finance restrictions by funneling money to the president. And I have to also say, it's been widely reported that what makes this especially suspicious in the eyes of American law enforcement officials is that many high-ranking Russian political operatives, including oligarch Torshin, became lifelong members of the NRA and sponsored visits by high-ranking NRA officials over to Russia, where they were there to talk about gun rights. There's no thing as gun rights in Russia. It was like such. It seems so obvious in retrospect that this was all a ploy, and yet some of our most prominent conservative politicals from across the country eagerly participated in these efforts to try to both get the financial support and, I would say, the and other kinds of illicit support from the Russian government.
Okay, I'm going to give you an on-air choice right now. So we have to do one or two things, and I realize it is because I have all these monitors and equipment over here that I feel it more than you do.
Oh, to open the door.
Either the door has to be open, or I have to turn on the air.
All right, it was just that. Man, it was freezing for a minute.
Well, we can't have. We got the door. One or the other has to be.
I got you.
Because when you close the door. when you
Yes.
close the door, it gets too
No,
hot
you're
and the
absolutely right. I
equipment
knew
gets
that
hot,
was going to happen.
and I didn't want nothing to happen.
Yes,
with the
yes,
equipment,
you're
so.
right, brother.
And I know you didn't. I grabbed the thing and I said, "Let me ask him before I put it on what his choice would be."
Let me move over a little bit.
So you're on 5. Okay.
Well, I'm not going straight
So
too
you're
far from you, though.
you're on 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Your mic is now on. Okay. Just handle a little housekeeping in here. We had Bob,
Yeah, my feet are cold
Bob-
already,
Bob-
man. I'm
Bob-
telling you.
Bob gets cold quickly. Just like, but all this equipment gets hot in here, which is why they always have the air on. So and if Damon was here, they would already be blasting in here. So be glad that he isn't, because he'd be freezing right now. So Lorraine, what have you been seeing in the headlines that have got your attention nationally,
Listen, y'all
locally?
already discussed all the headlines.
No,
Well, there's a whole lot of stuff that we didn't
There's
discuss.
more than 3 events that happened this
that
week.
you might something that might affect got your attention. I know you brought a couple of things to my attention that we haven't spoke about tonight.
Like what? Tell me so I can speak about it.
Refresh our memory, AJ.
Defeat the purpose. Hello, Tracy Cates is on the check-in. Shout out to her. She's not feeling good. Hope you feel better.
What do you mean defeats the purpose? Tell me so that I can talk about it. Maybe something I forgot.
Shout out to Lamar from the Money Making Mob. I mess up everybody's last name. Canada?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. What's going on, my brother? Shout out to him, and shout out to Tracy and the family. Hope you all feel better soon, because everyone's sick.
Yes.
Over there.
Hope y'all feel better, Tracy.
Yes,
Everybody.
Tracy, Tammy, all of y'all. Sean Barrett. I'm trying to think at this point now. I just know you've called me about several things this week that we didn't talk about.
Listen, forget about it. I
the
want to talk about
local-
something else.
The correction officer thing you told me about.
Yeah, but
That was a local headline.
yeah, I know, but out of respect for Damon, I don't know if I even should talk about it.
No,
It's
it was
okay
a
to talk
headline.
about it?
Yeah, we ain't breaking no news here. This was in the news.
No, it was just sad. A couple of days ago, at
Oh,
1
yeah, I
o'clock
heard
in the
that.
morning, in
I just saw that
Yonkers,
last night.
there was a couple hanging out at the female's home, and her ex-boyfriend came in through the back, opened the back door, and started shooting. And they engaged back, and they shot back at him. So all 3 of them got shot several times. Not 1, not 2, several times. Each of them got shot up. And the correction officer, the ex-boyfriend that came in through the back, ended up putting a gun to his head and killed himself right then and there. The other 2 are in the hospital in critical condition, fighting for their lives, and people don't know. They don't know if they're gonna make it. But all 3 of them were Westchester County correction officers.
Oh, all 3.
All 3 of them were.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were they active or retired?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I know that you mentioned it, and then I did see the Journal News, PI, Channel 11, NBC, everybody covered it. About to post the Journal News article up for everybody. that
Yeah,
doesn't
all
know
3
about
of them
it.
worked in Valhalla.
Yeah, for those that don't know the story, here is the Journal News version of it, coverage of it, so y'all can read it for yourselves. Yeah, that's very sad. I don't know the whole story. That's why I didn't speak on it. I wasn't able to read. I didn't follow up on all that. Oh, yo, wait a minute. So I did something that I have never done in the history of Black Westchester. I shut off my phone and took the day off and didn't do anything. At about 2, 3 in the morning, I noticed that I had something like 37 missed calls. No one left messages though, but so I guess they weren't important and it wasn't urgent. But I just didn't refuse to answer the phone. I did answer the phone once, and I just happened to glance down and see it light up. It was Lorraine. But beyond that, I did not speak to anyone yesterday. I just turned the phone off, and I enjoyed the day. I don't even know what that feels like since starting Black Westchester, because every time I say I'm going to take a day off, there's a fire, a court case, something happens, and something's going on, and I end up going somewhere and covering something. But yesterday, unless it was the city was on fire or something, and I wasn't doing anything yesterday, and it felt good. Felt very good.
Okay,
It's
listen.
something I've never done before. So
I want to make 2 announcements. First one is Westchester Hispanic Law Enforcement Association, in conjunction with County Executive George Latimer, are holding a toy drive on Thursday at Rancho Grande on Central Avenue in Yonkers. It's $50 a person, $40 if they bring a gift. It's a toy and coat drive. I'm going to be there. AJ's going to be there. There's going to be a lot of people there. So if you got nothing else to do on a Thursday night, come down and join us. And then also Broadway Community Center, which the director is Charlie Khalil, and Tasha Diaz, who is Mrs. Claus as far as I'm concerned, are doing a toy giveaway at Broadway Community Center on Saturday at 1 o'clock. People need to come in to sign up. And there's going to be face painting. There's going to be refreshments. There's going to be food. There's going to be Santa Claus. There's going to be pictures with Santa Claus. Everything is free. Everything completely free. The mayor's going to be there. Of course, I'm going to be there. There's going to be it's going to be a very nice event. Christmas, holiday music as well. So, and we're going to be raffling off several bicycles, some that we got from the, that Tasha got from the YPD, and then Barry McGooey and his organization, his union, are donating 8 brand new bicycles as well.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yes, so please come by and join us.
And what day again?
It's Saturday.
This Saturday?
This Saturday, the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
gotta take some pictures so we can post them.
You going?
Oh, I guess I'm gonna take some pictures. Okay.
I want to follow up with a community announcement of my own.
There you go. Go ahead.
All right. This past week, I happened to see a posting on Facebook from former Mount Vernon Board of Trustee, I believe, Elias Goodsight. Was Elias a member of the? I know he's affiliated.
He was school board trustee.
School board trustee. Yeah.
I know that.
He posted an announcement saying that inviting people to join him next Monday, December 17th, from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Church of Christ at 340 Columbus Avenue to begin to do strategic planning, including goal setting for elections for the Board of Education in the city of Mount Vernon the next upcoming year. I've never really had the pleasure of working very closely with Brother Goodsight, although I do know of him, his reputation precedes him, and in those instances when I've had an opportunity to have exchanges with him on Facebook, I've always found him to be, principled and informed guy. So I do believe that it's important for everybody who cares about the state of education in the city of Mount Vernon to begin to try to do what they can to influence the outcome of the board, the election, upcoming season. So.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah.
Guess what happened to me today?
What happened?
You know, then guess.
Santa Claus.
Yes, Santa Claus.
Okay.
Through for me.
What?
Yeah.
I thought that was a wild guess.
No, I was gonna buy my grandchildren don't have a TV in their room. I was gonna buy them a TV, and someone just gave me a brand new 55-inch smart TV. Brand new.
Nice.
Never been used.
Okay. You're
Isn't
very
that cool?
fortunate. It is. I don't have any secret Santas. I'm going to tell you. No surprise gifts to me.
Oh, sorry. I'll get you something. Don't worry.
I've been trying. Yeah, well,
He's dropping hints. He's dropping hints all over the place. Are you all listening? Are you listening?
Yes. So, what else, Lorraine?
My grandson walked out of school.
What?
He walked out of school, and the principal just happened to be coming down the street, and it was right across from the police precinct. And the principal grabbed him before he was able to cross the street and brought him back down to the school. And then my grandson's stepfather said, "Why did you do that?"
Go ahead.
And my grandson said, "Because I'm savage."
1 second, Damien. We're going to put you on the screen. Because he's what?
He's savage.
He's savage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't funny, but I find it funny.
Okay, there we go. We're right now, I'm getting ready to put David on the screen. And while we do that, hold on. While we're doing that, Lorraine, keep talking.
Okay. This month seems to be like really, really long. I can't wait for Christmas to come. I was checking it out. It's still a couple of weeks away. So we're getting ready to put Damon on the air. Damon is on standby. Should be coming in any second now. Okay, so I'm going to repeat it once again. Broadway Community Center, 6 o'clock. Broadway Community Center, December 15th, 1 o'clock. Toy giveaway and Santa. Joyous. The mayor will be there. We never got a chance to invite George Latimer, though.
Never had a chance to invite him?
No.
Okay. Invite him to where? I'm sorry.
To what I was just talking about. Were you listening?
What? Share screen? I need y'all to keep talking while I'm doing it.
Oh, okay. Don't use asking questions. So, hola, Bob.
Well, on a more personal note, one of the things that I've been thankful for, as AJ knows, is that my son started working and got his first big job as an after-school counselor and art instructor in the New York City public school system. So,
Oh, he's following your footsteps.
well, don't tell him that. He might quit his job if you say that. He might be like,
That's
nah, I
how
ain't
they
following
are.
Dad. Nah, it's right. But no, that's been a, like to have our kids around and all that. I see D on the set. D,
Yes,
what up?
yes. Can you hear us, Damon?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Loud and clear,
Hi,
brother.
Damon.
Black by popular demand, Damon K. Jones, the man with the megaphone in his hand, who's never met a podium that he didn't like. The Walker Press Conference, Damon K. Jones is in the place.
Yo, he doing some Don King on you right now, man.
Congratulations on your proclamation.
Yes.
Oh,
correct.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
I was trying to put the link up because I was saying, yo, anybody who want to be a Secret Santa to Black Westchester, I'm putting up the PayPal link. And y'all can make a donation. That's what I was also trying to do when David was calling in. I was trying to get the PayPal link. I think it's paypal.me/Black Westchester. I believe that's what it is. And you'll see Black Westchester on it. If you see that, you can go ahead and make a donation and be a Secret Santa to Black Westchester if you want to. Wait, whose hand was that?
Who else? Who else?
Hey, Montika, how are you?
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, that's definitely.
I just saw a hand.
Who else?
Wait, but
hey, right?
wait, but I put my hand up like this, and I saw my hand on the screen.
Okay.
But then I saw a hand on his screen. I was like, wait, hold up.
He was like, yo.
My hand showed up.
Teleportation
My hand
shit
showed up
going
on his
here,
screen.
huh?
We got problems. I was like,
Right,
yo,
right, right.
We got some kind of magic going on. So what's up, Damon? We covered some of the headlines. We talked about Thomas and the plea bargain. We talked about some of the Trump-Cohen stuff. What headlines this week caught your attention?
Thomas and the plea bargain, man.
Yeah.
I should have took it, bro. I mean, I don't understand, but it is what it is.
Well, what do you make about the claim of his lawyers that for him to have accepted a plea bargain would somehow or the other been unconstitutional?
There's nothing unconstitutional about getting caught in a crime.
Ooh. Ooh.
Okay.
Actually, it is constitutional,
Right?
because of the fact that the founding fathers of the country, the founding fathers of the state of New York, put in laws and legislations in place to stop tyranny, to stop corruption, to stop abuse of power. So there's nothing unconstitutional. As you look even in the White House, the issues that's going on with those that are surrounding President 45 and the charges that they have been brought up on, it's very similar to what we're looking at right here. So there's nothing constitutional about it. Unconstitutional. What is going on is very constitutional.
I want to say one thing too. His argument was that the AG's office does not have the power to veto him out of office. That whole argument, why it's so mute, is because the framers of the city charter do have the power, and if you are found guilty of a felony, you have to resign. So, like, it makes no difference what power the AG. The argument is the AG's office cannot make him resign out of office, but the charter can. So, that's a moot point.
Yeah, but nobody. But the problem is, you have a city council president. You have a sitting city council president. You have a dysfunctional city council that has yet to hold anyone to the charter for what it stands. We have had Marcus Griffith on our show, and he was charter. Well, where has the charter been in the last 3 years?
On the internet, on the website.
That's it.
On the city website. That's where it's been. I agree. But what I'm saying is, I agree with you. But again, I was just saying the argument itself is moot. That was a big part of the argument. That the AG cannot make him step down. The AG
it's a stupid argument.
But it's a Trumpian argument where it just changes to change the narrative of what really is going on. Like, to make it seem like again like Trump playing victor and victim at the same time. You won. You are the victor. How are you the victim? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't be both at the same time. So I've never seen, and we see it on a national level and on a local level, how for someone who won has been the biggest victim in all of this. How are they the victim?
Well, the AG is not making anybody step down. It's the plea deal. He doesn't have to take it. I mean, it's what they call a plea deal. It's the process in prosecuting a case. You give a plea deal. So, he will have an opportunity to take it or let it alone. To say it's unconstitutional, to say that the AG's office is not able to take him out of office. He is correct in that. They're not trying to take him out of office, right? They're not saying you have to come out of office. They're saying, look, you could lose this case and face whatever years you're going to get, or you could take this deal and walk away and come back into politics after 5 years when you're only in your early 40s and have a family and everything else and might have a revitalized political career. But right now, you got to go. But if he doesn't want to take it, he doesn't take it. That's I mean, that's up to him. He's going to have to be man enough to do that himself, and deal with the consequences. So I mean, all that other jargon that they talking about, it really doesn't mean nothing. It's if you got the balls now to step up in court and you feel that you got enough evidence to be found not guilty on 6 felonies for right now.
Wow, 6.
Then rock. But I say that to say this, to our new elected Attorney General. Don't talk that Trump shit if you can't take out a little mayor from Mount Vernon.
Whoa. I hear you.
Right? I don't want to hear Donald Trump. If you can't take out a garbage man in a little city that's 4 by 4 square miles. So don't come with her career. People got to understand her career is on the line with this case. Because if she can't do right in this case, she can forget about it.
Do you think she even cares?
Who?
The AG?
Yes, she does.
She told both me and Damon when we asked her about it that she cares.
She has to.
Her job is to care about the law.
She said she cares about this case. She was going to prosecute this case. She was going to keep Barbara Underwood in the position that she had under Snyderman, because Barbara Underwood is the one that's been holding this down. So Barbara Underwood is not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think a better way to understand a plea offer is that it is an expression of mercy on the part of the prosecutor, who is offering you an opportunity
to plead to one of the lesser felonies. And
yes.
That's what out of all of them, whatever it was saying for him to plead was the lesser of all the felonies.
Not to totally destroy you and your family and all of your loved ones who are going to be tremendously hurt should you wind up losing trial and have to pay an even steeper penalty for proven violations of the law. So, I found it to be very strange. I thought it was total nonsense, but I'm not surprised because, unfortunately, both the mayor and many of his spokespersons are guilty of perpetually spouting foolish nonsense all the time. Neither him nor his spokespersons are to be any more trusted than the assertions of President Trump or his spokespersons at the national level. They both have zero credibility. And I wish the mayor would have spared himself, the city, everyone of this. Go on, D. I'm sorry, man.
No, I really want for us to listen. This is the People Before Politics show, right? So now is the area where politics where politics play, right? And I go back to the AG, right? This is coming in the gate, right? This is one of her biggest publicized case in Westchester. She won Westchester fairly well, right? And she cannot move on. This is not just about Mayor Thomas. This is about Tish James proving that she's capable to fight corruption on a local, county, and state level. Because if she cannot do that, and if she fails in that, how is she going to fight Donald Trump in the president's seat? Because the Southern District of New York federal investigators, the state AG's office are playing a big role in the cases that we see on TV today with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I was just talking about that.
Right? We know for a fact, I mean, it's factual that the AG's office has taken cases on with Donald Trump dealing with his businesses. It's a fact.
His business, the foundation, and stuff dealing with the hotel.
And just this week, the courts ruled that 2 attorney generals, I think in Maryland and D.C., can go ahead with their emoluments case
right.
that they have against the president.
New York State is setting the bar because now Virginia is looking at bringing him on state charges. And I said the dangerous about state charges, again, there is no federal or presidential pardon that can get you out of state charges.
Right.
Right. So how can you move on? You know, listen, everything is judged by what you do in your hometown. Right? If you're an artist, right? If you ain't popping in your hometown, how you gonna be popping nationally for a record label? Right? And all politics is local, regardless of the fact of what we see on TV. So she's going to have to deal with that. She's going to have to come out with a W, not just the first black, right, but the first black woman. She's going to have to come out with a W in this case.
And there's going to be a certain group of people that she's going to have to prove that she can be just as hard on black politicians as, you know, like, because she's a black politician, she's the first one, the black AG. She's going to have to make an example to show that, you know, she's going to just be just as hard on black, you know, that black politicians don't get a slide, a pass because they're black.
Right, or Democratic politicians.
That is.
I mean, I think that's, you know, there's a lot of contradictions that she's wrestling with, because most politicians, all things being equal, they're going to be concerned about who they're likely to dissuade from voting for them the next time around if they go after a seemingly popular figure. Personally, I don't think Mayor Thomas is as popular as his lawyers and many people try to purport.
The thing that
he's popular.
The thing he keeps saying that he won overwhelmingly. In Westchester County, where the Democrats outnumber the Republicans, they brag 2-1 or whatever. When someone wins the primary, they pretty much supposed to be able to ease on down the yellow brick road to the general election. He won the primary by 38% of the vote. He didn't even, which is why what's my man from Tom Keller was talking about, we should have anything that's under 40% should be a runoff. He brought that point up because you can't win by, he won 38% of the vote. That's not overwhelmingly. Then in the general election, Ruth Hassel Thompson, then senator, she really didn't campaign but so hard, and she ran on a smaller party ticket. Yes, he won that, but after winning the primary, you're supposed to be, like, if you win the primary in Mount Vernon, you're supposed to be the mayor.
It's a cakewalk.
Yeah, it's a cakewalk. But the important, in the primary, he only won 38% of the vote. So there's the overwhelming, thing that he's talking about. A lot of people just went Democrat and just voted Democrat. You know what I'm saying? And Ruth was on the Working Family Party or something like that. So that's why he got that many votes in the general election. And there shouldn't have been a general election vote. He should have just Senator Andrew Stewart-Cousins, when she won her primary, she eased on down through the general election. A lot of people, when they win their primary, they ease on down when the Democratic nominee.
Basically, if you win the primary, you win the race. Yeah.
So basically, the election that counted was the primary, and it was 38% of the vote. And I just want to point that out because that is such in contrast of what he tells us.
I wouldn't care if Mayor Thomas won 100% of the vote. If every person, everyone, their mother, father, grandchildren, everyone came out and cast a vote for Mayor Thomas, that would no way absolve the mayor from being held accountable for violence. It's not like you get 100% of the vote or some shit and now you're free to do whatever you want. It's not like if you get 100% of the vote, you swear on a different pledge of office that says, I promise to be your mayor, but I'm not going to follow the city charter or the Constitution of the state of New York or the United States. It doesn't say anything like that. The mayor won whatever percentage of the vote he won, and he was sworn in and vowed to observe the law. And our prosecutors have said that he has not done that. And so he should be in court, being held accountable.
Well, hopefully Tish James will do something, because I personally think she's full of herself. I don't like the woman. I'm sorry.
Well, I will say she was walking around like Hillary was, like it was her race. Like it was supposed to, like she was next. It was her turn. She did have an air of superiority throughout the race.
Yeah, she did.
I will say that there was a level that came off as a level of arrogance, almost like, basically.
Everywhere we saw her, it was the same aura she was bringing out, which was, I am the great I am. No.
She said the great I am.
Yeah, well,
what else is going on outside of Thomas?
Yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah. What else is going on nationally? What else is going on? There was a couple of stories. Lorraine brought up the story with the correction officers, the correction officer shooting in Yonkers, I think it was. Yeah. We talked about that a little bit. That was in the headlines. I shared the headlines in the comment section. And there was other national news this week, local news. What else was in the paper this week?
Well, another important story that ran this week was more forward progress on Memorial Field.
Oh, yes.
My sense is, I read the article that appeared in Low HUD, and if my recollection is correct, essentially, the lawsuits have been brought to an end, and apparently all parties have reconciled, including the mayor, and are now willing to allow the county to assume lead in the renovation project for the Memorial Field. So that's a good thing.
When they're going to start?
I don't know when they're going to break ground, but I do not think it will be anywhere near to complete.
No, actually, I think on purpose, it says 2020.
Okay.
Which would be after the end of the first term of Mayor Thomas.
I think if I'm not mistaken,
they may break ground in 2019, but it won't be finished till 2020.
I think they said they still had to remove some of the soil. Or
some of that stuff has to be done. Yeah,
still done. And then I think there was mention of the need to tear down the rest of the bleachers and remove all the rubble.
Well, the bleachers were torn down. They are just rubble now.
Okay.
So all of them, that's just rubble, I got a picture of that.
I better go back and check that passage.
Yeah, it's just rubble, and there was a big construction truck just sitting on top of the rubble. Like that's what that used to be the bleachers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so somebody said the city is responsible for removing the dirt from the field. County will not have start work until it's complete.
Right.
Oh, AO.
And that's what C.E. Latimer said too. He said they're doing everything they can, but there are certain things that need to be done first. And when they're ready to move, they're ready to move now. Those things need to be done first.
Since actually A.O. Joints, who offered up those comments, I do want to take an opportunity to send them greetings.
What's up, sir?
Thank you for joining us on the program. I also happened to see a comment from Charles Stern. Let me thank Charles for joining us. And
as always,
it was directed to me. It's relevant, I think, to you and Damon to a lesser extent, less so you, Lorraine, because it's about people who are involved in the mayor's campaign.
I don't get involved in nothing, my Vernon.
Right.
Wait. Okay, go ahead. I want to answer A.O.'s question. Go ahead.
No, why don't you? Let's start off.
So A.O. questioned me. So she has to be hard on a black politician to make a point, and it shouldn't be that way, but because of the way things are, the political climate. If it was a female politician and she was easy on that female politician, they would say the naysayers and the critics would be she was only easy on her because she is a female. Because she is the first African-American AG and is a black politician and a Democrat, if she does not be hard on him, they're going to say, the Republicans and other critics, not just Republicans, that she was only easy on him because he was black or because he was a Democrat. So yes, and it should not be that way. Yes, she has to be hard on him. She has to show for all the constituents that are not us. She's going to have to show that yes, she can prosecute both a Democrat and African American. I mean, look at on the national level how the Republicans will not push back on Trump, and they're saying because they're Republican, they're letting Trump get away with all of that. Like that is what the Democrats are saying, and that's what the Republicans and others will say about her if she does not. So it should not be that way, Ayo. But with the political climate that we have, yes, that is the way it is.
No, well, she would kiss her political career goodbye. I mean, it's not the fact. It's not the fact. Look, you have allegations of corruption in the governor's office. You have allegations of corruption in the mayor's office. You have allegations of corruption in different levels of the state government, and you have local government allegations of corruption, right? This is a case that's already before the judge. She has to, for her political career, because not just the governor's office, who has the power to pull a sitting man, right? But he doesn't want to get that far. So the legal options is the AG's office. So for her political career, I mean, yeah, because he's black to show that she's not in any favor of black politicians. But it is what it is. I mean, look, this is politics.
Wait, but he responded, which most likely it happened because she's truly incompetent. I don't think you heard what I said. And this wasn't in favor of Trish, and this is not against Mayor Thomas. And the same thing goes with if there's the tribal nature of politics now, especially we see with the Kavanaugh confirmation and other things that the Republicans are not challenging Trump on, they're being criticized. And the 2018 midterm election was a big mandate on that. And that's why they voted for the changes that they voted for, and for the Democrats to have the House. So there is some kind of check, because there was no check. You understand what I'm saying? It has nothing to do. I'm not going to say I am a cheerleader for Tish. I actually thought Mike Sussman was the best qualified. I'm just putting it out there.
I did too.
But I can't say that she is incompetent.
He said he's talking about the controller of Mount Vernon.
Oh, okay. Then I apologize. I looked at that as a response to what I was saying. My bad, brother. So
because he said the controller has to pay capital to finish the work, which most likely it happened because she's totally incompetent.
I think okay. Dealing with that, I would just say this. There's a lot more to the story than any of us are being told. According to Mayor Thomas, neither controller paid anything. They never paid the bills. That's why we had all the problems we have. According to the controller, there were several checks sitting on his desk that he didn't sign. So there's a breakdown and something's being lost in translation, and I'm not taking neither side. Basically, they both need to do their job. Basically, let's be point blank. They both need to do their job, because I think there's enough blame to go around. But I'm not going to throw the controller under the bus as defense for the Thomas, or throw Thomas under the bus as defense of the controller. They both need to do what they need to do.
I don't understand, man. Like what rocket science do we have to hire to build a damn field? Like it's been 10 years. 10 years, man. We have a bridge. We have a bridge. We have a bridge. We have Yankee Stadium, Shea Stadium. We have all these other places, all these big construction projects that have been built, right? And we can't build a bridge. This is not about any personal politician. This is about black people looking incompetent.
And this this happened. It's not all happened on Thomas Watch. This goes back for the last 3 administrations, and I keep.
Well, I said 10 years.
No, and I said, and I'm just being clear to AO and all the rest of them. Yo, all of the elected officials that have been involved have not got the job done. There has been no mayor has gotten it done. The next mayor comes in and nullifies what the previous mayor did, and then the next mayor comes by and nullifies what the previous mayor did, and we're dealing with all this political and infighting and protecting their legacy and trying to tear down the legacy of the next person, and basically the residents lose. Because if Davis would have continued Clinton's plan, the thing would have been built before Thomas even got in office.
Listen,
and then Thomas went and nullified everything that Davis did. So
let me tell you,
they're all. It's enough blame to go all the way around.
If Davis would have just built the damn bridge, he would be mayor.
The bridge?
The field, you
The
mean.
field, yeah.
I mean the field. If he built the field, I'm sorry.
Well, talking about bridges, we talking about the MTA bridges too. So let's round enough of those though. But
listen, real talk. If Davis would have built the field, if he would have just went along with Clinton's plan and built the damn field,
he would be the mayor right now. That's exactly agreed. He would be the mayor. He would be the mayor right now. He would be the mayor right now.
He would be the mayor. But I mean, but this is the
off term, yeah.
Right. This is the mindset. Right. This is the political mindset that has to change in order for the city to move forward. And I'm not pointing at no political person, but I'm just the political mindset of the city itself.
Well, I where I differ, the point is, we can't keep talking about what Davis didn't do. We can't keep talking about what Clinton didn't do. Neither one of them are mayor now. I just want to say this specifically.
Look,
now anything you say about Thomas is because he is currently the mayor. The buck stops with him. He is the CEO of the city, as he likes to say, the head, whatever in charge. And he needs to do what he needs to do now, and stop talking about what people before him did not do.
No, AJ,
never
I get that.
Done. Okay.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. But the attitudes, the way they handle politics
didn't start with him. Yeah.
Didn't start with him.
He's not the problem. He's the, like you just said. He's the cause. I mean, they
no. He's the effect.
Richard Thomas.
He's the effect.
He's the effect.
They are the cause.
Right. They made Richard Thomas.
They are the cause. The Democratic Party of Mount Vernon is the cause. Yeah. He's the effect. He's the effect, and that's what it is. What it is. It is what it is. So I mean, but at the end of the day, the city needs better. The city needs better.
You ran to do what your predecessors didn't do, and you ran to be the one to get it done. So now that since you ran on that, that's what you need to do.
Richard implied, if he did not explicitly state, that he was going to part ways with the previous administration and their corrupt, sort of backhanded, back office deal making. Yeah. And unfortunately, the mayor has not done that. He's only repeated this. The article of the subtitle of an article I wrote for Black Westchester was "The Problem, Richard Thomas and the Problem of Mount Vernon's Imperial Mayoralty." And a big problem that Mount Vernon and other municipalities have is that we seem to think that we're electing kings or some shit. Like, yo, you don't get in the office and do whatever the hell you want to do. There's rules that you are constrained by and that you have to operate within. And anytime you go outside of those rules, you have broken the law. Charles asked me, since I had been on the campaign, if I could have possibly anticipated the current state of affairs in the city of Mount Vernon. And I have to tell you, Charles, I was absolutely astonished. The full story of Richard Thomas's unlikely dark horse campaign in Mount Vernon in 2015 will one day be told. And part of that telling will be that Bob Baskerville did his best to try to make sure that Richard Thomas had the best possible chance of succeeding in the campaign and going into office unencumbered without having to promise people jobs and stuff, because I told Rich personally, don't worry about giving me a job. That's not what it's about. We're here to try to make the city better. And the reason that I did that is because I had, every reason to believe that the one thing that Rich would do, that Mayor Thomas would do, is that he would faithfully enforce the laws and bring back an era of good government. And I can't tell you how thoroughly I was duped by the mayor, because the mayor isn't just merely guilty of bad decision making, in my judgment. The mayor is guilty of deliberate criminal action, from what I can see.
Can you wave them to close that door real quick?
And so,
yes, I agree. I just posted the article that you referred to. I just the article that you referred to so that people could read your article, Bob. We posted it in the link section, so they could read it.
It's very lengthy, and no one's gonna want to, and I could have wrote it in half.
There'll be some. The Marvin Churches of the world will read it. Yes. Yeah. So changing the subject altogether, one of the headlines that just caught me, I went to my what is it called? Smart News. Went to my Smart News app. I can't breathe. Jamal, what's his name? Khashoggi. That's how you pronounce it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Those were his last words, disclosed in the according to the transcript, according to CNN and the Washington Post. When they were killing him, they have a transcript of his.
What were his last words?
I can't breathe.
Oh, okay.
Were his last words.
Mm-hmm.
This is reported by CNN, and they're quoting, also referring to a Washington Post columnist. So between the two of them, they wrote a lengthy story that ran about 5:21 today on CNN. I thought that was very interesting. I was just like scrolling through it a little bit, because we talked about this whole Saudi thing, the Saudi hit squad and all that, and the president not claiming that they didn't do anything. He's not guilty, and he's nullifying everything that the intelligence community. And I'm seeing that some of the Republicans, some of the Republicans are actually pushing back on this one. Listening, Leslie Graham and a few other people have actually pushed back on.
Lindsey Graham, Senator Bob Corker.
Right.
Probably Jeff Flake.
Right. Well, Jeff Flake, of course, because he's not running for nothing. He out after January, so it's just like, so he's not worried about. He's the one that's not worried about no kind of retaliation against him. But Leslie Graham was one that was notable for me, because Leslie Graham has not said anything in contrast of anything against Trump. With all the BS Trump has put out there, this is the first time I've actually seen Leslie Graham actually speak up against that. Okay, so Ayo, we're gonna continue this. We're gonna discontinue this conversation on Mayor Thomas. I'm not gonna make this all about Mayor Thomas, so it's like beating up on him. But no, let's be honest, from day one. And the reason I have to shut you down is because you were not. I was in the campaign. Bob was in the campaign. You were nowhere around, so you don't know what day one looks like. So, secondly, also it started before day one. It started after the primary and after the general election. Go from the general election to him swearing in, and you were nowhere around. So you can only go by what you're being told. I was there. So no, that is not the case. Maybe there were some people that didn't like him, and there were some people that didn't like Davis, and people that didn't like Clinton from day one too. So again, he can't be both the victor and the victim. He's either one or the other. He won. He has to now stop campaigning and do the job of the city. So that is the last words we're going to talk about Mayor Thomas, because it's not going to be a bashing Mayor Thomas show, and I'm not going to defend any of this. It is what it is, and you were not there from day one. You weren't there before, and you wasn't there to see this go on. You were. I did not see you anywhere, so I'm saying I did not see you. I was there.
As was I.
So was Damon. So the breakdown happened right after, actually 2 weeks before the primary. There was a breakdown. with some people requesting that Thomas remove Spezio from the equation, and several people backed off because of the Spezio thing going 2 weeks before the primary even. I was there with Butch Thomas trying to pull both sides together, Sam Rivers and all of them, and he was trying to get Rich to the table, and me and Butch were going back and forth. No one else was there involved in that. We were trying to make sure that all the work that was done did not implode before the primary, because everybody put in a lot of work. So I was there fighting for him. I then got distraught about some of his decision-making things, and I addressed the issues. They were not attacks on him, they were attacks on the issue. And while he patted me on the back for holding Mayor Davis's feet to the fire, he got upset when I did the same thing to him. The game didn't change, only the player changed. So what was good for Davis is also good for him. So for all of the Thomas supporters who were riding my coattail, congratulating me, talking about what a great job I was doing holding Davis' feet to the fire, Davis is not the mayor anymore. The job is to hold the people in power's feet to the fire, and that's it. We're going to move on. Shout out to Osiris. Shout out to Tony Robinson. Shout out to Kim Backstage. I hope I pronounced your name right. She has a small salon, I think on Lower 3rd Street, going towards 590. Shout out to Gail Baxter. Shout out to Nesto Acosta, DJ Nesto from Virginia. Shout out, to Diane Marshall Young, Cicely Greaves, Charles Stearns. We didn't get to all of your comments, and I apologize for that.
We can always circle back.
We can circle back onto that, and Robert Elder is tuned in. So shout out to Robert Elder.
I wanted to give a shout out to Gail Baxter and just share with our listeners the notice that she posts announcing that the Yonkers NAACP is holding its holiday party next Monday, December 17th at 7 p.m. at the Nepperhan Community Center on Warburton Avenue. There will be installation of officers and board members. Reverend Franklin E. Coleman, who's a former pastor of my family's church, Shiloh Baptist, is going to be installed as president. And, I wanted to...
Is that Shiloh?
Yes,
in Tuckahoe.
Yes.
In Tuckahoe.
Yeah, he was a former pastor from Shiloh in Tuckahoe. And, I wanted to repeat the message because, again, this is an opportunity for those of us who are looking to find ways to revive life into, civic community to join and be a part and to continue to struggle. So
I also, while we're talking about announcements, so I don't know how long it is, and I will post a link later. The Yonkers Police Department is asking people to fill out a survey to let them know how you think they're doing. I'm not sure what the information will be used upon, but I encourage everyone to fill it out. They want to know, let them know. Good or bad, let them know what you think, because that's what they're asking. And they sent me the link like 2-3 times, like, can you mention this and can you post it? So I will definitely, I don't have the link with me right now. I will post it tonight in the comment section for all the people that are reading this later. And I will make sure that, and I'm sure you can just Google it somewhere. If you Google Yonkers Police Department survey, I'm sure something will come up.
Well, I think that is a noble cause of Yonkers Police Department or any police department that will put a survey out, But the thing is, are the people going to fill the survey?
Right. That's what I said. This is your chance to speak up. All the people that complain and want to compliment them, this is your chance to speak up.
Exactly.
In the police department and have some say. Now, where it goes, and what they do with it, I can't say. But this is your chance to have your say.
Exactly, because I think, contrary to popular belief, the police work for the people, right? The people pay taxes. Taxes are paid for police officers' salaries, the cars that they drive, their benefits, everything that operates in the police department, the majority is paid by the taxpayers' dollars. Law enforcement departments, no matter what department, are usually one of the highest budgets that a municipality can have, and it's all majority paid by the taxpayers. So the taxpayers should have a say, or should have a avenue to say how their police department and how their city is being policed. I think that's good. I think every police department should do that.
So I'm going to share the link because the email I got today was saying last chance to let the Yonkers Police Department know how we're doing. So I don't know how long they've been running it, but I will share it tonight. And everybody, please, I encourage you, whether you're being critical or complimentary, to go out and let the Yonkers Police Department. I don't know, and I can't, Damon can speak more on this. I've been back 4 years. I don't know any other police department in the 43 municipalities of Westchester that has put out a thing to say, let us know how we're doing, and invite you to, I'm not saying that they're the first to do it, but I don't know anyone that of the other 43 who have done that. So
I can't think of none offhand.
Right.
But I think Yonkers being one of the biggest, what is it, the fourth largest city in New York.
Right.
I think it's a good step, but the questions are people going to take advantage and fill out the survey, right? Are they going to publicize the responses of the survey? And what will be the city's response, right? And the outcome of the survey. Don't just have a survey and you don't do anything, after the survey, then you wasted, you wasted valuable time.
I mean, I think it shows that, at least on paper, that they're trying to move in the right direction. I mean, after having the feds come in at some point, and they had to deal with that, and having, 2 officers that had to be indicted by Janet DiFiore of falsifying search warrant affidavits, and a lot of those investigations had to be either overturned or reinvestigated, and several other claims that have been made upon them. It shows that at least they're trying to move in the right direction, and I hope that they will actually do something. Like you said, I would love to see this publicized, what the results are, what the complaints are, and then how they're going to address them. I would love to see that. I would like to invite what's his name? Yeah, Charles Gardner, the commissioner. I'd like to invite the commissioner to come on the air after that survey and discuss the results of that survey and
their plans for follow.
I would like to do that. Maybe.
Where's Lorraine?
She's coming in right now. Well, we're gonna click off of you real quick because I want to do something real quick because we have some young visitors and I want to show everybody who they are. There was a lot of people seeing. There was some little promo commercials. They'll see it. Some promo commercials that were done. That were the 2 little girls telling people to read Black Westchester, and they're in the studio today.
What?
So I want to show you the commercials. If I can pull it up real quick. I'm not hearing the vibe. Okay. Here.
Can we make it bigger?
Yeah, I'm trying to. It froze real quick. Hold on. So that was one of them. There was another one that I liked. See if we can
Be about it. Black Westchester and the Yonkers. Be about it. Black Westchester and the Yonkers.
So I want to invite the young ladies. They're here today. I would like to invite them into the studio. And we can meet the young ladies who made these, and the adults who helped make that possible. Share screen. Okay, lower this. Damon's back on. I cannot make your screen bigger. How do I make your screen bigger? Oh. There you go. Now Damon is full screen. There we go. So we got and Damon was just asking, where'd Lorraine go? So there she is. She was outside entertaining our guests.
Come on.
We're going to meet the young ladies and the adults behind them who put them together. And there's Tasha Diaz.
Hello.
And her
Hey,
sister,
Tasha.
Tamara. And our young ladies. Are they both here? Or
No, just one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
But trust me, she can talk.
So what is your name, young lady?
Nevaeh Augusto.
Wow.
Augusto, all right.
So Tasha, so you were one of the brainchilds behind this. Tell me, tell the people about this and how it came to be and all that.
Well, it was actually me and my sister both that came up with the idea to refresh the young minds. She's very, very, very smart and intelligent. She likes to read, and she likes to be around people. So I just wanted to bring out her inner beauty, because as you can see, she's adorable.
She's very
Absolutely.
animated.
I wanted to bring out her inner beauty.
Tell Mr. AJ what you just told Lorraine. What is being here is what?
It's a dream come true because I've never been here, so my dream came true right now.
Oh.
We're going to give her a round of
Now, this is, tell him what you was going to say.
I know that everyone is busy shopping for the holidays, but don't forget to read Black Westchester.
She got her priorities in order.
I mean, you know what? And we always talk about that. Whatever you do, you got to sow into the youth. The youth is the future. And to see young people getting involved in anything is always great. To see them promoting you is even better. But I am so, and this is my first chance meeting her. So we wanted to have her come and say a few words to the people after those adorable commercials that she did for us.
Man, this is.
And all we do is support her. She comes up with the concept, and we just help her with the wording. She memorizes her own lines, and she says it on cue. This is one of the things that she wants to do, so why not support her?
And there was one more that I saw. Let's see if I can bring it up. I just had to share.
Yeah, it looked like we got some new production assistants on the way.
They're so adorable, for real,
Absolutely.
And we just had to bring them on the air and introduce them to the world. And we greatly appreciate them. And I understand they have some more commercials in the works that they was working on. We're gonna see them in 2019, and I am so pleased by them.
So you had something else you wanted to promote, right, Nevaeh? So what are you doing next Saturday, December 15th?
Giving out toys that for the less fortunate.
Wow.
Okay,
Nice.
and where at?
600 McFloyd.
And how many toys?
200.
200.
Wow.
All right.
Wait, and also, how old are you, young lady?
5.
5. When will
Wow.
you be 6? When is your birthday?
October 8th.
Oh, okay. So you just
October,
turned 5.
baby, yeah.
Okay.
We know what month you were born.
How do you know?
Damon, any words for the young lady?
Oh, who's sponsoring, Nevaeh?
Can y'all hear me? Oh, wait a minute.
FedEx
Yeah, we lost
Express.
the video, but we can hear you. Now we can see you.
Oh, no, hey, Hey girls, thank you for your support. Y'all doing a great job. And both of y'all have a future in media and keep it up and make a video once a month. And by the time y'all get our age,
Working on it.
y'all be pros at it.
I'm going back down to the Cupcake Cutie.
Yeah, we
Oh,
got something in the
yeah.
works for Cupcake
Right.
Cutie.
Yep.
We're also gonna have a skit promoting Cupcake Cutie because we love their cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
We support. So why not also get the word out there, right?
And since they like Cupcake Cutie so much, there will be a gingerbread. I think it's a gingerbread house
decorating.
house party. Yeah, gingerbread house decorating, and I'm gonna sponsor both of them, boy.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, gingerbread house is at Cupcake Cutie.
When is that? Do you know a date? Date and time yet?
I think it's oh good Jesus.
We'll share that with them.
Yeah, we'll share
We'll
it.
share that
I
everywhere.
think it's the 22nd.
Okay,
Hold on a second.
just before Christmas. Yeah.
First, I put a milk on a plate and glue it. And then I get some ginger. Then I get some hard things. Then
Graham crackers.
graham crackers and glue it, and then put icing on it and decorate it, and put a gingerbread girl in there.
Oh, that's cute.
So you like making gingerbread houses.
What you gonna say, Bob?
That should sound like we got a dual professional in the works in the future. Media and architecture.
Oh no! Tell them what you want to be when you grow up.
I
Tell-
want to be when I grow up a veterinarian,
All
a
right.
ballerina,
Wow.
a science teacher, police officer, astronaut,
Mm.
and I want to be a stage girl.
She wants to be a
Wow.
star.
Wow.
A real Renaissance woman in the making.
Ain't gonna be no jobs left. You taking all the jobs. she gonna take all more.
Bag.
Main cause of unemployment in Westchester County.
But I had to get that bag.
Right.
Ooh.
What bag?
Money
The
bag.
bag.
Money bag.
That bag.
Said she gotta
Come
get
on,
that
AJ,
bag.
don't do that, AJ.
That's the new slang, AJ.
Okay.
Yo, AJ, come on,
We
man.
don't say get
Yo,
money.
stop
We
that,
getting
man.
that bag.
Okay, that's what's
You
up.
know that, AJ. Come on, man.
Okay, Bob. Bob just learned that just now too. It's like Bob act like he heard that before. That's what's up. And it's just, I like the spotlight. We talk about the politics and we talk about all the other things going on. But anytime we get a chance to spotlight some little kids doing something, some so the youth, what I'm saying, we always like to showcase that as well. They are our future, and whatever we can do to encourage them, and whatever it is that they're doing, it's always a beautiful thing. So, shout out to Tracy. Tracy Kate says, "Secure that bag, too cute." Shout out to we got Justin Walters. I think he does sports for Fios. I think he does sports for Fios. He's tuned in. Tracy K said, "Too cute." Patrice Wallace Moore is tuned in. Wayne A. Robinson Sr., what's up, cousin? Susie Lopez is tuned in.
Hey, what's up, sis?
Hey, Susie.
Charlie Khalil
Hi,
is tuned
Susie.
in. I said, yeah, Tracy says, "Secure that bag, too cute." She loved that. Yeah.
Thank you,
Tracy.
Tracy.
All right. So, that,
Can can they talk about a little bit of what they're doing on Saturday?
She could talk about whatever. Yeah, yes, that's absolutely.
So basically, I'm a representative for FedEx Express of the Big Apple District. We cover Manhattan, West Side, and my boss actually knows.
So y'all are thrilled with Amazon coming to town, right?
No, we spoke about that 2 weeks ago. No, we're not. But still shit with FedEx. We will get your packages there on time. But my job, they actually have to do a charity event every year around this time. My boss knows how heavily involved my family is with Yonkers, a lot of charities, a lot of nonprofits. So they figured they would team up with me and come to Yonkers and sponsor the 200 toys that we're actually giving. So the 200 toys came from FedEx Express of the Big Apple District in Manhattan. And they're also going to come up and bring the trucks. We got 2 brand new trucks that we're going to bring up to show off. They're going to be handing out gifts. The children can come and take pictures with Santa. We're going to have refreshments.
We're doing
Santa,
raffles.
Right?
It'll be a black Santa, right? It'll be a black Santa, right?
It's a multicultural
Okay.
Santa for everybody.
Tell them what kind of trucks are coming.
Oh, we're bringing the creme de la creme. We're bringing a brand new Mercedes-Benz.
Mm-hmm. What?
FedEx Mercedes-Benz trucks. That's what we driving in Manhattan.
Yo, can I giving test drives for the adults?
I don't know about that. You ain't on our insurance. But we're bringing that, and then we're also bringing. We just accumulated 10,000 electric trucks to help with pollution. So they're also going to bring the trucks that we use for the airport shuttles.
Now for all the people out there that's unemployed, is FedEx hiring?
We're always hiring, but just to let everyone know, this is not our local FedEx station. This is the Manhattan station.
They actually came out of district because they heard about all of the work that we do within Yonkers. They actually came out of district for us
because they heard that Yonkers was in need, and they got tired of the politics of the city.
Right,
it's a lot that happens in the city. You don't know if the money's always going where it should be going. You don't know if these people are really in need. And last year's charity left a bad taste in their mouth. So they want to come down and actually hand the children a toy.
So they can see where they're
Yeah, they want to make sure that these kids are really getting a toy. Not that it's people that have it already and they just don't want to buy children toys.
So now you had some other organizations organizations involved that.
Well, it started with FedEx, and once FedEx hopped on, a lot of people wanted to hop on, which was awesome. The YPD hopped on with some bikes. The fire department, Barry McGooey and George Rocha, was very, very, very giving. They're giving 8 brand new bikes for us to raffle off. There. Also, we have basketball sets that we're going to be raffling off for the kids. Beautiful art sets that we're going to be raffling off. We have a beautiful scene set up with Santa Claus for them to take pictures. Refreshments were donated by Santos Bakery. He was the best. Sterling Bank also was a sponsor from Ardsley. We went all over. Lorraine and I, we worked hard. We went all over. We tried to actually go outside the box because everybody goes into Yonkers and, you got the same old thing. Oh, I already gave or I wouldn't. So what we did was we expanded. We started from the boroughs and worked our way back into Yonkers. And that's how we got the sponsorship.
Now let me ask you,
wait, one more Spencer. Can we finish talking about the sponsors?
Right, but okay, but is this just for Yonkers? That's what I want to know. Like if kids from Mount Vernon or New Rochelle or something are in need, can they come?
Yonkers.
Yes.
I mean, if you can get to 600 North Broadway by 1 p.m.
If
for
you can
registration.
To register,
You can get to 600 North Broadway in Yonkers by 1 p.m. for registration. As long as you're in need, we have the need to help you out here.
And you want to go back to the sponsors.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I spoke to my very good friend of mine, Lou Picani, who's the president of the Teamsters, and he's going to get back to us this week coming up.
And also we're waiting on Yonkers contracting.
On what they're going to be donating, because they are going to donate. I just don't know what exactly yet.
Well, first off, I just want to offer y'all all my a personal applause for the work that y'all do. Not just this, but all three, all the work that y'all collectively do for Yonkers and beyond. A lot of things that people don't know. Lorraine especially too. And this is my applause to all of you. Salute to y'all. I mean, it's one thing, like I said, to just, when people are doing things just to be doing things just to, take a photo op or because they're running for office. You know who I'm speaking of. No names need to be mentioned.
No,
and that's the thing.
They banned all the elected officials. The only one allowed to come is Mayor Spano.
Oh, you know what? You get a applause for that.
Yes, we did.
Yes, because we wanted everyone to know
that it's coming from the
political.
community. That is not political. We want people to know that it's coming from the community. It's not a political stunt. These people come out, when the politicians come out, they come out and they just smile and they take pictures. And in the long run, people think that they are the people behind all of this. They're not. We invited the mayor because, yes, this is his city and we're going to put on for our city, of course. Right. So we had to have the mayor there. But we did not, we did extend an invitation to Shelley Mayer and I believe Andrea. Those were the only three that we openly invited to come. For the simple fact that we want people there that are for the city and that are going to do things for the city and recognize that they have other people that are doing for the city. Because once you invite one politician, they think it's a political thing and they take over it. And it overshines with the whole aspect.
And at the end of the day, this
and then people think that they're the ones that
did everything.
And this is about the kids. We don't want it being about who's in office, who's running, what ticket, what tax. We don't want it to be about that. We want to make sure that these kids are going to be able to see Santa Claus, have a picture for a memory, and have something to open on Christmas.
Yeah, and
that's what it's about.
And another thing is a lot of these politicians are collecting toys.
Yes.
This is the first actual giveaway. It's not a toy drive. We're not asking you to bring us toys. We're not asking you for any donations to purchase toys. We want you to bring the children that need toys. That's the difference between a giveaway and a drive.
But if you're an organization or a business and you want to donate, yes, absolutely.
So, for those who are part of organizations and businesses, and they're hearing this and like, oh, this is great. I want to donate. Who do they call? How do they get in touch? What do they do?
They can reach out to me on Facebook. And if you donate,
Your name?
My name is Tasha Diaz. I thought everybody would know. Tasha Diaz. They can reach out to me, Tasha Diaz, on Facebook. And we will provide you with a W-9. Because our organization is real.
Khalil through the Broadway Community Center page via Facebook or his personal page, Charlie Khalil, because that is the CEO of the charity that we are working with, Broadway Community. So you can either contact Tasha or you can contact myself. It's Mira Freeman. I'm a representative for FedEx that sponsored the whole event. So if you can contact her, me, or Charlie Khalil.
And Charlie and his wife, they're awesome people. They do a lot of good things in the community, but they do not get the recognition.
Their center gets
overlooked. And how I met Charlie was he reached out to me on Facebook. And he had an event, and I went to this event, and I donated. And I seen a lot of elected officials come in empty-handed with nothing. And I thought that was disgusting because he was doing a good deed. He was collecting dresses for prom.
Right.
And nobody gave anything. I was
impressed by him when Lorraine introduced me to him and brought me to his thing. Every now and then there's, we have a space free in Black Westchester. Once again this month, I ran an ad for his
I forgot to tell Charlie.
Yeah, so I read an ad for his program that he's doing because we want to support people. We don't do it for you don't do it all the time. Just every now and then.
You don't do it for nobody. You doing it for Charlie.
Yeah, we did it. We did it because we appreciated him and we wanted to show them some love and support.
And every summer, throughout the whole summer, every Sunday, he had Sunday Fun Day, and it was free.
Right.
He didn't charge anybody anything. These are people that we need to uplift, people that are here for the community, not for the shine. And Charlie never, ever wanted anybody to see who he was. Yeah. He wanted to be the person in the back. Yeah. He doesn't care about the shine.
He also did the thing when, what was the thing that they were collecting for Puerto Rico or something or whatever? He had that at his location or something when they did that thing.
The school supplies?
Yeah, it was schools, whatever he had when they were collecting donations for Puerto Rico or something. Hector and all of them were out there. They did Facebook
Oh,
Live
yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
also at his spot.
Yes.
So we're coming to the close of the show. Bob, any last words? Briefly.
Nope. Just good to be with everyone. Happy holidays, y'all. Good to see you guys in the studio and continue the good work.
Thank you.
Lorraine, any last words? Briefly.
Yeah. Please don't forget Thursday night at Rancho Grande on Central Avenue. Westchester Hispanic Law Enforcement and George Latimer's office are doing a toy drive.
Okay. Absolutely.
$50 without a toy, $40 with a toy.
Okay, and what was the other event? There was another one.
The other event is the one on Saturday.
Okay, that's both of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Damon, any last words?
We can't hear you,
Can't
D.
hear.
Oh, 1 second. Hold on. Now you can start.
You're not
Oh,
we're not
hold on,
hearing
hold
you. Did you turn something down?
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
You must have
Yeah.
turned
Oh,
something off.
I'm sorry. I was muted. Also on Thursday, we're doing this is the final part of the fundraiser. We're raising money for retired Officer Julius Adore, who unfortunately had to retire a year ago because he had a stroke. He is a retired Army veteran, and he's also a retired correctional officer, and he has children. So we decided to raise some money for him. He has been in the rehab. I think, probably almost 2 years now, and they're getting ready to of course, can't stay in the rehab. They're not going to let you stay in forever because of the way our health benefits are set up. So he's getting ready to go home, and of course, it's going to be a financial burden on himself and his family. So we are raising money for him and his family for the holiday season, and that will be Thursday the 13th at Trattoria 632 Anderson Hill Road in Purchase. It's a gathering from 8 to 11. It's a live band, some finger food, and we only asking $20 a donation. So if anybody's in the area, please come through and let's have a good time and help. We are our brothers and sisters keeper. So and this is what we're trying to do for our brother Udor.
That's what's up. And of course, as always, there's a $20 donation fee. But if you want to give more, you can give more.
Right.
Exactly. They could go to GoFundMe, Udor /your door, or you could go to Eventbrite, where you can look it up, holiday fundraiser for Officer Udor.
No doubt. And with that, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank Tasha and y'all for coming, and thank the little young lady here for all that she has done for Black Westchester and all that she does. Wanted to remind everybody, you can also check out this issue about supporting Black business. We listed all the businesses that we could find, all the staff favorites and stuff, and it's a lot of businesses for you to support. And like I said, you go to the Black Westchester page, and you can actually click on it and print out the page for yourself, so you can take it with you and while you're shopping and all that other stuff. So support Black businesses. It's the first time we put the pages, the individual pages, the JPEGs on, so you can download them. And as always, you can make a donation if you like what you hear here or you read in Black Westchester. I just posted the PayPal link. You can always make a donation to Black Westchester if you want to be a Secret Santa or support the cause.
You don't have to be secret though.
Right. And also, we're starting the advertising for the January issue, extending the small Black business thing that we did. So for all the small Black businesses, there's a discount if you get your ad in between now and next week, Saturday on the 15th. Any questions, any for more information, hit us at blackwestchester@gmail.com. I'll send you all the information. But thank you for all of those that participated, and go out and support the Black businesses. Support small businesses, period. But, Black Westchester, we were promoting all the Black businesses this issue. There's a lot of them out there, and feel free to let us know the ones we missed, because there's several others that we couldn't include that My list was very long, and I'll try to include them soon. But you don't need to support them just for the holidays or just for Black History Month. We should be supporting our businesses all year long. You know what I'm saying? We should support each other and recycle our dollars, and that's how our communities get strong, like other communities. We spend our money with everybody else, with all these corporations that do not give to what about us? You know what I'm saying? And we give our money to all these corporations. We need to shop within our own. So support Black businesses. With that said, thank you for tuning in. You could have been doing anything else, but you decided to ride with us, and we greatly appreciate it. This is Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show every Sunday, 6 to 8 on INTHEMIXXRADIO.com, giving you real talk for the community since 2014. Peace.
22 million Black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. And are not afraid to say it. And are not